And then the third one, which I've just started to use a bit actually this last 12 months, is what we call Qualitative Comparative Analysis. And what this is trying to do is look across programs, look across interventions, within those programs and interventions, looking at common characteristics and the extent to which those characteristics appear to be correlated with success of impact of program and why. Again, it's a case-based method involving participation rather than simply sitting at your desk reading the theory of change. Not used widely yet, but it's starting to build. And it's about trying to identify, as I say, potentially relevant causal factors in your group of beneficiaries to which you can then ascribe a 0 or a 1, maybe a multivariable value or a fuzzy value to say, to a greater or lesser extent, this factor appears to be causal on the success or otherwise of a program. So this is just a little example that a colleague of mine was working with recently on a evaluation. And essentially, he was defining here for a transnational program, country 1, country 2, country 3. And he, through thinking through his theory of change and then doing some discussions, had identified a set of factors: existence of space for dialogue between state and civil society, capacity of key civil society actors, horizontal coordination. And he was then saying, if you look at the, and then finally the outcome that was being experienced by each of the countries, and he then worked through to say, okay, for this country, for this factor, for this country, for this factor, for this country, for this factor, what are these sorts of judgmental weights that I can give to what I am observing through this qualitative comparative analysis. And he sort of develops a little simple table that says, look, you know, for this country where it appears to have quite a strong outcome, and I've assessed it here 1 and I've assessed it here 1, okay, this country here I've assessed a middle outcome and for the factors here, yeah, and on this one here, okay. And what he's then sort of imputing is that probably to get to this scoring here, 1 and 0.5, there's probably something happening around these two factors, yeah, that actually start to give rise to that outcome. So his hypothesis is, his view is that factor B and factor C actually may be more important than factor A in actually delivering success, in delivering impact for that intervention. Yeah? Now that's just a bit of a noddy example. Sorry, you understand noddy here? Okay. He's a cartoon character with big ears. It's a simple example, yeah, here. But it's trying to get across the point that what this is seeking to do is for the aspects of the program you're trying to understand and the factors that you're interested in, what is the correlation across having these factors and what is beginning to come evident in terms of outcome, and starting to impute a degree of causality and explanation.